ready to get out here, ready to do some stuff, even if it seems like the things that you have to do are impossible. We just had the formula for doing the impossible spoken to us. Also, let me go to my other scene real quick while I talk. Also, if you speak, hey, what's good, brother Reed? What's good? Good to have you in here, bruh. So, and we speaking nothing but motivation, nothing but positivity up in here. So, if you speak positivity into your situation, circumstance, into your life, whatever it is, you get positivity back. The reason why that works is it's your mood that dictates your experience. So let me say this. Something happens to you that is making your mood is down now. Everything is going to be down. And sometimes it's not okay to be in that mood, but sometimes it is okay to be in that mood and keep things down because that's going to be for your protection. But then the moment you want to switch that, you can switch it. You just switch it. You say, hey, I'm not going to feel like this anymore. I'm going to feel like this. It's all dependent upon you. Now, you can look at it and say, well, my circumstance is this and the situation is that. Well, those will still be what they are. But the moment you narrow it down and say, hey, I'm going to be like this, that's when the whole situation changes. So, back to what we was looking at. That's some good talk right there. They got us started.
Ranked fifth in the East with plenty of games remaining.
Hey, I'm 2 minutes early.
Hornets.
Everybody
Up
got
next.
on
We're
there.
back in a moment.
Early today. Let me send out these links to everybody that I know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Good to be up. Hold on, let me send out these links.
Good evening and
So
welcome.
today is Tech
Glad to have you
Tuesday.
along
Let me
for this
change my,
Tuesday edition of the
change my
NBA
title
on
on the
2K Sports. Hi folks, this is Brian Anderson. I'm with Grant Hill and Brent Berry. Our reporter tonight, Allie LaForce. Here are the starters for Charlotte. It's Miller and Bridges teaming up at the forward spots. MP is out there with LaMelo Ball. And it's Williams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the Warriors, Curry and Hield to the sharpshooting backcourt. Inside, it's Green
so,
next to
like
Jackson
I was saying,
Davis.
it's Tech Tuesdays again. Let me mute the sound just in case that's in there too. And what is the topic? Oh, we just talking. We exploring more tech. You know, it's 2025, as you know, you living in it. So it's a bunch of new technology out that the list is long. So we just gonna look at a few things first. Now, I do want to start with a little bit of motivation for Tuesdays, though. Motivation for Tuesday. We're gonna start doing that because it's what we need. What we need. My man was cussing. I was watching yesterday's show, and I promise you, motivation for waking up. I could watch the very first thing, but I was watching yesterday's show, and bruh, they was cussing. Oh, they was cussing. I had to cut them off. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just take the filter off, and I'll take the hit if I get one. All right, let's go.
Big ideas.
If you wake up at 3:30, some other kid's getting up at 3 and he's got 30 minutes on you today. And I'm looking at the 245 and I'm saying, E.T., you're so close. You're closer than you've ever been before. You have to do me a favor. Those 15 minutes are not worth the rest of your life. Those 15 minutes are not worth you slipping down the chart. That is not worth it. When the new year comes, there's some things I have to do.
And I'm asking you, what do you see in the future for you? What brought you here today? What caused you to get up?
The moment you are no longer willing to tolerate where you are, everything changes.
See, the way to get started is to stop talking and start doing.
Everybody wants to be number one. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to succeed. Everybody wants to have, to be, and do what they feel they've been called to do. The challenge becomes that most of us, when it's time to do what beasts do, we don't do it.
You are going to have to wake up and make a decision to get it done. The problem with many of you is that you're not tired enough. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting until you see it. Stop waiting for somebody to come and save you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming with the resource.
As long as you're average, you're going to get what average people get.
See, people who have something to look forward to don't need an alarm clock. So when you look at yourself and you look into the future, what do you see?
Everybody wants to make their dreams become a reality. There's no one sitting in this room who said, E.T.,
Right.
I want to procrastinate.
Right.
E.T., I don't want to get it done.
Right.
E.T., I don't want to get to the next level. Every person in this room, not only do you want your dreams to become a reality, you deserve for your dreams to become a reality.
All right,
So I'm
man.
going to build off of yesterday.
Let's go. Y'all feel that. Y'all
If you can hear my voice, I'm just wondering if you are bold enough, daring enough, if your faith is outrageous enough to take a chance on yourself.
Focus on being productive instead of just being busy.
Don't accept things just as they are. Don't follow the crowd.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Right.
So get it done.
Get it done.
Take responsibility to make your life happen.
I told you, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, listen. That was just 3 minutes of that. How you feeling? How you liking that right now? That's good motivation for us. We gonna listen to the whole 9 minutes. Let's go.
3 o'clock in the morning, every day, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so there's some days when I wake up. I just woke up recently and it was 2:45.
Right.
I looked at the clock and I said, look, between me and you, we got an agreement.
Right.
It's
It's 3 o'clock. Okay.
It's 2:45 right now.
Okay.
Like,
Yes,
listen,
sir.
Rick,
Yes, sir.
technically,
Okay.
3 o'clock.
I like that.
I looked at the clock and I said, look, between me and you, we got an agreement. It's 3 o'clock. It's 2:45 right now. Like, listen to me very close. Technically, I have 15 minutes. Technically, I have 15 more minutes. I never told the world that I wake up at 2:45, ever. I say 3 o'clock. But when I looked at the clock said 2:45. And the average person in me said, E.T., just pull the covers back over
Wait.
here. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
You got 15 minutes. But the phenomenal in me said, E.T., if you go back to sleep for those 15 minutes, there's no guarantee you're going to get up at 3 o'clock. If you go back to sleep right now, you might wake up and it's 4 o'clock. You might wake up and it's 5 o'clock. You might wake up and it's 6 o'clock. All you have is right now. Are those 15 minutes that sweet that you're gonna push back your dream,
Right.
that you're gonna push back your goal? Everything you've ever wanted, son, you're right there. What is it? What is that one thing that you're saying that I am going to get this thing done and I'm gonna make my dreams become a reality? So I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you not only to want to be a beast when you leave this place, huge favor. E.T. is asking you of one thing. When you leave this place, I need you to get in beast mode and stay in beast mode.
Yes, sir.
You got
Yes,
one
sir.
life to live. It's
Yes,
time to get it done.
God mode is what
Are
I call
you
it.
tired of just thinking about it? You're focused on the risk more than you are the reward. You're focused on the pain of the process more than you are the glory on the other side. You're listening to the wrong people. You're listening to the wrong voices. You are subscribed to the wrong programs of thinking.
Right.
And you stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for the conditions to be perfect. They're never going to be perfect. You're not going to always feel like it. You're not going to always see it. You're not going to always have a resource. You're not going to always have a handout. The question is, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want this? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to let go of some things? Are you willing to put the work in? Are you ready to be consistent? Are you tired of this version of yourself? The prize goes to the hardest worker in the room.
Yes, sir.
As an individual, I need you to get your schedule up. I need you to get your life up. I need you to get your words up. I need you to get your heart up. I need you to get your action up. I need you to get to a place that every single thing that you do is phenomenal, so that the life you want to live, you can actually live that life. You're not putting forth 120%. You're not all in. Let me tell you something. If you get to that point, where you do exactly what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna get to the next level. All right, so let's get started.
The future is not just gonna happen. You have to make it.
They put that ad on.
And if you want a successful business, all it takes is an idea.
Stop waiting to feel it. At the end of the day, you can listen to 1,000,000 motivational speeches, but you are going to have to wake up and make a decision to get it done. If you can hear my voice, if you are tired of where you are, if you are tired of not hitting your targets, if you are tired of not being aimed and intentional and assertive and consistent, you have everything you need to get started. Stop waiting for the weather to change in your life. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop waiting for a handout. Stop waiting for everybody to believe in you and cheer for you and affirm you.
Your dreams are phenomenal. In your dreams, your bank account is phenomenal. The life that you have for yourself is phenomenal. The things that you do, the way that you live, what you have is phenomenal. But you as an individual, you're average. And what I'm challenging you to do is to go from average to good, from good to great, and from great to phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
Enough is enough. I'm getting out of this place, and I got stuff to do. I've got assignments to finish. I've got a destiny to fulfill. I am sick and tired. I'm no longer willing to tolerate this place of misery and pain.
Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a goal. Everybody wants something in life. But many of you in this room right now, your beast mode is idle. Your beast mode is not turned on. And when you leave this place, I'm telling you, your life is going to go to a whole nother level if you can learn to turn that switch on and keep that switch on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, y'all should have that switch on right now by now. Hey, what's good, Nami? Hey, my girl, what's good? Hey, look, y'all should have that switch on by now. Like, after listening to that whole speech, that switch should be like, I'm in grind mode. Hey, look, I got to get up. I got to go out. I got to do whatever it is I got to do to get to where I want to be. It should be on. All right, so now that it's on, what's some tech that you can use in your everyday life to help you get where you going? All right, tech. New tech for noobs. Let's see what they got. Hold on, let's make sure we can get one. Well, we get one we can watch, unless all of them is whack. Heck no, we ain't watching that. Let's get the good stuff.
When your auto insurance coverage is too big or too small,
Alright, let's see what they got. Some of this I already seen.
Pax's Twin Lakes. Camping, hiking, you've got the gear you want to bring, How are you going to transport it? On your back, sure, but then how do you get what you need without having to throw off the backpack, open it all up, put the backpack back on? What a nightmare. Well, not anymore with the Paxos Twin Lakes. This is a swing arm backpack that allows you to get to your gear without hassles. The Paxos Twin Lakes has arc swing technology built in, and its high-tech nylon fabrics are perfect for the most challenging conditions. It has a waterproof base and a quick-release buckle. The Paxos Twin Lakes comes in a fun rust orange gray design, and it has plenty of zippers and straps for all your storage. Lion Mini. Coolers should keep your drinks and food chilled. The issue is they're filled with ice and they get water on all your sandwiches. Then you end up with a bucket full of water. There is a portable cooler that solves all this. It's the ice-free Lion Mini, a battery or solar-powered portable freezer that can keep your food and drinks as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit and all the way up to 43 degrees. The Lion Mini can even power your devices with its built-in batteries and can operate for 10 hours of continuous cooling between charges. Lion Mini can be charged via AC, DV, and solar, and it even works with your 12-volt vehicle charger inbuilt in the car. Tap XR.
I seen that.
Tap your way to productivity and ditch the mouse and keyboard with the Tap XR, a wrist keyboard and air mouse that can control your PC, laptop, smartphone, and VR, as well as your TV and projector. The Tap XR can transform any hard or soft surface to a keyboard or mouse, and it fits most wrists with flexible bands. Every finger tap on a table or couch is a keystroke or a mouse movement. You can compulsively remap each finger to put in hotkeys, macro strings, whatever you need to do. For video content creators, the Tap XR lets you focus on creating without the need to run back and forth to your recording device. Music producers can replace MIDI gear and tap their beats in. ARC-X Smart Ring. Your wearable tech just got a whole lot smaller and way more useful. Now you can control your smartphone and fitness peripherals with the ARC-X Smart Ring. This is a multi-function wearable ring that lets you work hands-free while controlling your devices. You don't have to wear the ARC-X Smart Ring as a finger ring. You can mount it on a handlebar for cyclists and over gloves. It is IP67 waterproof, so don't worry about sweat and rain, and the ring is really light. It doesn't weigh you down, so you won't even notice it's there.
Yeah, y'all referenced
There are
this
so
video
many
back
features
to,
in this ring. You have SOS panic buttons for quick actions that send your location using
wanna see
SMS
any
and
of this
emergency
again?
calls.
Future tech.
Lago Fastbox. Time to get rid of the lag and start gaming like a pro. This is the Lago Fast.
So I'm gonna publish all of these videos that I saved to the expansion pack playlist that give you all this knowledge and wisdom in one place. I will be publishing it, so you can just go check out the playlist. If there's a video that you want saved, just let me know. I'll save it and put it on the playlist, and you can just pick the link up or go over to the DGTA channel and look at the playlist yourself.
Box, and it's a whole lot of speed in a small box. The Lago Fastbox gives you a multi-path connection that pings the best nodes around on worldwide servers. It finds the fastest routes for the lowest ping, meaning you get connected to the fastest servers all the time. Lago Fastbox also acts as a VPN router and extender, so you can have faster Wi-Fi in those harder to connect areas. This works with Xbox, PS5, and your Nintendo Switch with the optimized NAT type. You can also use multiple consoles at once, and with the Easy Lobby and Easy Server, you can have bot lobbies so you get to the game faster. Chime Note X. The next generation of translation is here, and it's a bundle of goodness. This is the Chime Note X, and it's the next gen of AI-powered translators. It can record and live translate, and it's all powered by everyone's favorite GPT, ChatGPT. Chime Note X can handle over 107 different languages, and it doubles as a 3000 mAh power bank, giving you a double bang for your buck. The controls are all handled by the OLED control screen, and a single charge gives you 60 hours of continuous usage, and it stores 1200 minutes of non-stop audio. Your data is uploaded to Google Drive, and it connects via the MagSafe for wireless charging. Great for learning languages, taking meeting notes, and summarizing them on the fly. Exa Ring. You've got fingers, but you're missing rings on them. Well, it's time to jewel up and get fit with the new Exa Ring. It's an AI-powered wellness coach that fits nicely on your finger. The Exa Ring offers advice that is completely personalized to you. You simply fill out your goals, and the Exa Ring monitors your heart rate, sleep, blood oxygen, body temperature, and workouts. All this data is analyzed and your perfect plan is created. This plan is constantly updated and it goes beyond fitness, offering insights into stress and how you can handle even the toughest mental scenarios. The Exa Ring also comes with a remote control, letting you control videos, music, even control your camera actions. It's waterproof, very slim, only 2.3 millimeters, and weighs less than 5 grams. Infinity Tool 2.0. This next item is a tool that you really need. It's the Model Infinity Tool, and it's a modular strap that will quickly become your everyday carry. The Infinity Tool 2.0 is wearable as a bracelet, but its real strength lies in its versatility it provides. It's an extra hand that's ready when you need it. You can secure nearly anything and everything with its stainless steel stud links and grippy silicone loops. You can use it with your already existing gear like carabiners, key rings, backpack, anything that has an attachment point. And it's strong. It can handle 70 pounds of force. If you need a sandal heel, your Infinity Tool can help out. Need to repair a tent or suspend your dog's leash? You can absolutely do that. You can use it to tie down your bike gear, strap down your luggage for international travel, and even hold your hair back. Govee Curtain Lights. Your space deserves to be lit up. Your old boring curtains need to take a hike. It's time for a design revolution, and there's no better place to start than with the Govee Curtain Lights. These curtains are completely customizable, and you can set them for every mood and decorate for every time of the year. The Govee Curtain Lights are controlled with the Govee app. You can make your own designs or use over 86 different scenes. Govee Curtain Lights can even move to the beat, and you can add multiple curtains together for bigger and clearer patterns. You can even use the curtains outside with the IP65 waterproof rating. All of this is supported through the IoT, and you can use Alexa and Google Home to control your lights and set different scenes and timers. Pen Clap.
That's hard, buddy.
It's heating up out there, but not for you. You keep it nice and cool in any situation with your Pen Clap Ultimate Window and Outdoor Air Conditioner. This is a luxury cooling unit that is all about comfort. The Pen Clap comes equipped with 10,000 BTU hours of cooling power and has a 17 degree to 30 degrees Celsius range of adjustment. It also acts as a dehumidifier and ion purifier. Pen Clap cools down 450 square feet of space and is so easy to install in Windows that you'll have it up and running in no time. It has sleep timers, and it's designed to produce very little noise. Pen Clap can cool you down in as little as 10 seconds, and it's great for outdoor use in tents and garages. There's no need for a manual water drain on the Pen Clap. It has a self-evaporator that removes water, making it easy to maintain. OEL. Here is a great new item that changes the way electricity is generated using everyday objects. This is a new way to go off-grid, and it's all thanks to OEL, short for Outdoor Eco-Friendly Lamps. These lamps require no charging and are powered by adding acidic or alkaline liquids like seawater. You can use the OEL to are powered by short for outdoor. This is a great new item that changes the way electricity is generated using everyday objects. This is a new way to go off-grid, and it's all thanks to OEL, short for Outdoor Eco-Friendly Lamps. These lamps require no charging and are powered by adding acidic or alkaline liquids like seawater. You can use the OEL to start fires, emit light, and generate electricity. No mains are needed or solar power. Everything can be driven through the metal full cell tech that's provided. You can use it to charge your cell phone. No salt water, no problem. A can of Coke will give you enough power, and you can daisy chain multiple OEL power cells together for more power.
Up right now, bruh. All right. Hold up. Y'all gotta give me a second. I'm glad I'm not out in the neighborhood, cause I wouldn't have been able to look at this. I can't never be in the neighborhood playing on Tech Tuesday, cause I always want to see the videos. OEL flashlight. Let me see. There it is. The O light. Let me see. Edition flashlights 13. No, that ain't it. I gotta go back. I'm going back to the video. Forget that. Let me see.
This is the foam grip that doesn't suck. No other foam grip can do this, this, and this.
OEL to start fires.
I gotta get
using
specific
everyday
on that. Let me see the links to OEL.
The way electricity is generated using everyday objects. This is a new way to go off-grid, and it's all thanks to OEL, short for Outdoor Eco-Friendly Lamps. These lamps require no charging and are powered by adding acidic or alkaline liquids like seawater. You can use the OEL to start fires.
Oh, they got a Kickstart page. It ain't even on. It ain't even on Amazon. They ain't even on. Ain't even on Amazon yet. See, y'all got me. Y'all got me. But it is a Kickstart page if you want to go look that up. I think I saved this video too, because I think I want to remember all of that tech right there. Let me save this. Yep, I saved it already. So what we have here is we got the start of something that is, let me choose my words right, revolutionary to us. We done had power for a long time. We even had the internet for a long time, which gives us information. If you didn't know that, then but having ease and comfort, that's a new level of living right there. I don't want to seem like I'm all for it, because some of the comfort and some of the ease that we're going to get, it's not real comfort and ease. You would prefer to do some of these things because they keep your body active, they keep your mind active, but you don't necessarily have to do them. Like, all right, we can get somebody to work on the assembly line and move boxes all day. It could be a robot. Now, what are you going to do all day? You already don't exercise, you eat all day. I don't know. And I'm just talking about myself, so maybe you need to move some boxes. Maybe you need to get up. Maybe you need to get on the game. I'm talking about me, on the game, so I can actually be active. So just think about it in that capacity. Some of the tech is going to bring ease and comfort, but some of that ease and that comfort, you might want to still keep that activity and that discomfort, because it brings the activity. All right, let's see what's up. Let's see tech. Let me see. Good. Let me see how I can. Okay. Top tips for designers. I spelled designers wrong. All right, there you go.
Step into Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises, and turn website layouts.
You might be the best designer, but if you don't know these 10 tips, your designs will print out incorrectly and you'll give your client some kind of medical condition in the process. The first tip is something many designers don't even consider or know, and actually it can lead to a whole lot of problems in the printing process. Sometimes your typography might print out fuzzy or blurry for some kind of unknown reason, especially on smaller size text. This is likely due to your choice of black. Now for text, especially small text, avoid using rich black. Rich black is created by combining all 4 ink colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And this creates a deep, dense color of black. However, precise registration alignment of these 4 ink colors can be challenging, especially on some printing equipment. If the registration is just slightly off, this can result in the text looking fuzzy or misaligned, making it difficult to read, simply put. It can also cause letters to blend together, especially if the ink spreads slightly on the paper, making it harder for readers to distinguish individual characters. And that's not good. Lastly, using rich black for text can lead to excessive ink saturation in small areas, potentially causing ink bleeds or smudging. Now, to ensure that text remains clear, sharp, and legible in print, it's advisable to use standard black, which is 100% K, for small text size. Now, sometimes designers do focus on their designs in terms of the digital realm, and they forget the end result. The choice of weight and finish can actually vastly change the final outcome on how it looks, the quality, and how it feels. Different weights and finishes can convey different levels of professionalism, texture, and aesthetics. Glossy finishes provide a smooth, shiny surface, while matte finishes offer a more subdued, tactile feel. The final choice can influence how users perceive and engage with the design that you make. Importantly, paper weight determines the longevity and the durability of the finished design. Heavier paper is more robust and less prone to damage. This makes it suitable for items that need to withstand wear and tear, such as business cards or package design. But yeah, you should consider the print quality on the paper that you choose. The weight and finish of the paper can influence the print quality. Heavier, smoother paper often yields sharper images and vibrant colors, enhancing the overall visual impact of the design. Now, here's a tip that I'm sure some of you at least know about, but many designers get it wrong and it actually causes so many problems down the road in the printing process. Embedding fonts or converting text to outlines in print projects is a common practice in the graphic design world for several different important reasons. When you create a design using specific fonts, it's essential to ensure that those fonts are available and will actually be displayed correctly on the final printed design. Embedding fonts or converting text to outlines eliminates the need for the printer or the recipient to have the exact fonts installed on their system. Also, when you outline the text, it preserves the exact appearance of the text at the time of the conversion. This is crucial when you want to maintain the integrity of a custom or non-standard typeface that might not be readily available to other people. There are many more reasons, but just ensure that you outline the text or embed the fonts. I recently set my logo guide for printing and it turned out really well actually. However, also designing this guide was a pretty smooth process, and that's mainly because of the planning phase of my project. Millernote isn't just the longest running partner of Satori Graphics, it's actually something I use or actively use every single day. If it's not working on design projects or making stuff for YouTube, it's me planning my daily routine with Millernote. And I'm actually working on a new guide which is going to come out next week, so do watch this space for that. But with Millernote, I find it useful to create really functional mood boards, in this instance here, to determine a design style. Now, as you may know, I've been using and working with Millernote since 2018, and now they've created an extension called Web Clip. So once it's a mood board, important. I was recently using it when working on my ChatGPT prompt videos, and furthermore, it actually allows you to copy text from websites to the browser extension and Millernote. I'm so glad that Now here's something I learned very early on in my career, and I'm so glad that I did learn it. If you're designing a billboard that is, say, 6 meters wide by 3 meters tall, you aren't going to set up a document in Photoshop that is 300 ppi. That document will likely just blow up anybody's computer due to the file size. In this instance, you should try to set up your design at a fraction of the scale, so maybe a tenth of the scale. So instead of 600 centimeters by 300 centimeters, make the document 6 centimeters by 30 centimeters, and you can set the document to either 150 ppi or 300 ppi. When sent to the printer, they will blow it up to the right size, and the final outcome will be either 15 ppi or 30 ppi. But you should leave a note or contact the printer about this scaling situation. And this is totally fine for billboards and large posters due to their size and how people view them from afar. If you stand close to a billboard, you will notice dots due to the low resolution, but this doesn't matter because people tend to view them from afar due to their sheer size. So for large scale documents, consider scaling down. The next tip requires that you talk to the printing company or the service. And yes, it is important. You should consult the printers because they will provide you with a recommended color profile based on their equipment and their process. If you have the wrong color profile for their setup, problems can occur such as colors not being precise or consistent, unpredictable printing results, and issues with the color gamuts. So don't be shy and just reach out to your printer in terms of the color profile. So get your notepad or your digital checklist ready, because here are a few quick tips that are often common but easily forgettable, and you don't want to forget them. Always use high quality, high resolution images for best printing results. Maintain a consistent color scheme for a professional and higher tier look on your designs. Wherever possible, use vector graphics because these tend to print out a lot crisper. Keep a checklist of everything mentioned in today's video. And test print before you order, say, 5,000 copies of a printed item with mistakes and errors. That's gonna hurt. All of these tips will help you on any print project, but they don't actually allude to the design process. If you want to see a video about the design process, just click the video on screen. And until next time, guys, design the future today. Peace.
Hey, so I did that for my designers out there. You know who you are. So that you can get just some sort of reference on how you should be or what you should be doing in that realm. I don't know nothing about it. That's my man's. He can talk to you about it. All right. So let's get some hacks for not just for designers in general, but fashion designers. All right. Oh, look at my man's. Hold on.
I'm done spending.
But first, I gotta see if I can get one without the with the filter on. It's 10 pioneers of black fashion. All right. So, ooh, now that'll be good. I got you.
Hello to you wherever you may be, and I welcome you to Cashmatics, a channel dedicated to assist you make quality financial decisions. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please ensure that you do before you exit. Let's get into today's business. At a point in your profession, it's...
Let me make sure I saved that last video.
You might be the best designer, but if you don't know these 10 tips, your designs will print out incorrectly.
All right, there you go.
Hello to you wherever you may be, and I welcome you to Cashmatics, a channel dedicated to assist you make quality financial decisions. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please ensure that you do before you exit. Let's get into today's business. At a point in your profession, it's normal to see the need to source for another means of income. This is usually as a result of not being able to accumulate cash as expected. The purpose of this video is to assist fashion designers with 5 different side hustles to combine with their main fashion designing business. Fortunately, the thriving of these side businesses doesn't necessitate that you totally forfeit your fashion business. They're only complementary of it. The first side business you can indulge in is consultancy. Consultancy involves the affording of advice, blueprint, strategy or guidance to a business organization or people. A business consultant uses personal experiences to give professional advice as to how an organization can enhance productive, solve problems, maximize values, publicity or reputation. You can choose fashion consultancy as a side business. The second side business you can venture into as a fashion designer is digital marketing. This is a form of selling, advertising or promoting what you do to potential customers through virtual platforms like blogs, social media, YouTube and so on. You can host classes on the internet to teach people all you know as a fashion designer, while you get paid in return. Number 3. Laundry. This has to do with washing, starching, drying, ironing and folding of wares for people. Wares could be shoes or attire. This business booms everywhere, most especially in urban areas. Laundry can also be removal of stain on plain outfit. Number 4. Sales of fashion-related materials. Instead of just sewing or designing outfits, you can begin selling materials related to your profession. You can sell stuffs like shoes, jewelries, fabrics, ready-made wares, sewing materials and so on. Number 5. Modeling. Ever thought of establishing a career in modeling? You can achieve that by making it a side hustle. You can approach modeling companies to be recruited for artistic photo shoots with outfits, shoes or accessories. These are the 5 side businesses I believe you can combine with your fashion designing business. If you found these tips helpful, leave a comment, share and subscribe to know when next I publish. Until I return with another video, do have a nice time.
That one was just a quick hitter real quick. I got last one. Last search inquiry. Hacks. Let's get you some hacks. That's what's up. Ooh. Hey, hold on. Now this is good. This might be good.
Oh, no.
I am a conservative and Mormon.
Me, Jenna, Kayla, and Macy are the most devout.
There is a divide.
Said that's whack. She just scrunched it up and made it higher. Love the single leg. It's whack. This video whack. For us, at least. Hey. That's right, girl. Watching no more of that. All right, we back to
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. My name is Bliss Foster. Today we are going to be covering advice for young designers in the world of fashion. I will say this up front. I am not a fashion designer. I am extremely passionate about fashion. I know a lot about fashion. I study fashion every single day, but I do not have a degree in fashion, and I certainly do not know how to make clothes. However, I have talked to a few thousand of you on Instagram and other social media platforms. I am exposed to tons of young designers who are just getting their start, and I've also spoken to a lot of people who have been in the industry for decades. And especially through the part of that where I'm talking to a number of you who are just getting your start, there's a couple of patterns that I've noticed that if we address those, I feel like we can make your life as a fashion designer a little bit easier for you. Like I've said, I've talked to a ton of you that are just getting started out. I've seen a lot of your work. I've seen the experiments that you're doing, the projects that you're working on, and you're awesome. You're great. A lot of you are working with very few resources, not a lot of money. I mean, the standard thing that gets talked about in the industry is that to start a fashion brand, you need a minimum of $100,000. And many of you are just going for it anyway, which is fantastic. That's perfect. I admire the ingenuity. I admire your passion. And most of all, I admire a lot of your work. I've seen so much of it, and it's so good. I want to make things easier for you. So please don't take any of this as this is criticism. If Bliss has looked at my work, he actually thought it was garbage. I don't think that that's true. I truly am trying to make it so that you can win as quickly as possible. With that said, we're going to divide this up into a few major pieces of advice, some good nuggets, and then we're going to fill that in with some other little tidbits that'll hopefully be helpful as well. The first major piece of advice is going to be the one that is the most difficult to swallow. Are you ready? Here we go. You need to get the basics down. A lot of young designers that I've seen are immediately jumping in and trying to design these really crazy garments, these asymmetrical things, something that is inspired by Rick Owens or something that's inspired by the Lumps and Bumps Comme des Garçons collection. And that's great. That stuff is the reason that a lot of us got into fashion in the first place. We see something like this on a runway and we're like, that's incredible. I want to make my whole life about that. And it's really, really tempting to see something like that and then to start sewing for the first time and to immediately start making some wild fantasy of yours come true. Here's the reality of this. If you want to make fashion a hobby that you do occasionally in your free time, that's great. Make wild and crazy stuff, goof around. There's no pressure and there's no time limit on anything. Just do whatever you want. If this is something that you want to become your career, you need to learn to get the basics down. If you don't know how to draft a pattern, you need to learn how to draft a pattern. If you've never cut things from a pattern before, you need to start cutting things from patterns. If you're not able to take measurements off of somebody and then make them a plain pair of chinos and a plain jacket that both fit them perfectly, you do not need to be focused on crazy asymmetrical runway looking fits. Drafting patterns especially is something that requires math and engineering. It's very, very difficult to do, but that is not something that's out of your reach. There's a lot of fashion designers that taught themselves how to do it with very little outside help. And now is the absolute easiest time to do that in the history of humankind because you have YouTube videos and you have people on the internet that you can reach out to and ask for advice. But if you're not able to go to your dad and take his measurements and then cut out a pattern from pattern paper, cut out your own pattern, and then using that pattern, cut out fabric pieces, and then sew together yourself with a sewing machine a final piece that is just a pair of pants and a jacket that fit him perfectly. If that's not possible yet, the experiments need to wait. You can't get to stuff like this and this and this and this and this. None of that is possible if you cannot just make plain, well-fitting, excellently tailored, perfectly pattern-cut clothes. Alexander McQueen was a damn savant at this. He could cut out pattern pieces, sometimes without using measuring instruments, which is insane, and he could often cut a dress without the use of patterns. But he was only able to do that because he got so damn good at manipulating fabric and cutting things out, and he got such a feel for the distance that was necessary to get the tension right. He was able to start doing that freehand. If you just started out freehand and you've continued going freehand, you should not stay there. And I will tell you, even apart from a like, this is how you should do it kind of thing, every fashion house in the world that you may want to work for has 60 million people knocking on their door that want to work there who are, as I used to be, a stylist, or they have lots of ideas, or they want to be a creative director, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you show up at their door and say, I have a backlog of thousands and thousands of original patterns that I design, here's 200 of them that are good, please look at my portfolio, that is when doors start to open for you. I know this is difficult to hear, but you need to get the basics down. Similarly, kind of in that same note, point number 2, do not allow yourself to get into a headspace where accidents are a good thing. There's a lot of designers in the world that talk about how a happy accident was how they stumbled upon a certain design. You need to keep it in your head that perfection is the ultimate goal. When you have something in mind, you need to execute it as clearly and fluidly as possible. And if there's a certain piece of tension on a pair of pants, or if there is a certain pleat on a skirt that doesn't look right, do not think of that stuff as acceptable. If something didn't go right, you need to take that as an opportunity to learn more about the technical side of it and understand why it wouldn't go the way that you wanted it to go. Once you fully master the technical side of all of this, that's when you can start opening your mind up and saying, like, is it possible that these negative things, these things that I can't quite get right, is it possible that there is something beautiful in that I haven't been able to see before in the original plan? But until then, and especially while you're just experimenting at home, you need to be ruthless about perfection. Rick is not able to send stuff like this down the runway by saying, oh, well, you know, it actually like kind of stuck out like that and I ended up really liking it, so we just kind of went with it. You can bet your ass that they knew exactly what they were going for when they made this look. There was nothing about the finished product that was different than the way that they had it sketched out and the way that it was on pattern. Be ruthless with yourself about details. Hold yourself to an extremely high standard. Next item, kind of a mini item here. If you already find yourself in a place where you are technically pretty advanced, you've really mastered those basics and you are ready to move on to kind of more intermediate or advanced stuff, The Pattern Magic books are excellent. I have them and I don't even sew. They're just beautiful books to look at in the first place. They're really not that expensive. Buy these books and execute some of the ideas in here. The author points to some of the most famous like pattern tricks in the history of contemporary fashion, some stuff that like Comme des Garçons has done, and she shows you how to do that on a pattern by pattern level. I cannot recommend that series of books enough. They're fantastic. I love them. A lot of you might have some building anxiety inside of you as I'm saying some of these things, thinking, but how do I actually get this stuff really, really down? I'm so hungry to make really advanced things. I don't know how to actually get these I don't know how to make Here is the answer. Point number next. You need to get back to work. The only way that you are going to be able to create excellent, beautiful work that you are truly proud of, stuff that is physically in the room with you where you can point to it and say, look at this, I made this, I'm so proud of this. The only way that can happen is by producing a shit ton of work. What are you doing after work? I'm making clothes. What are you doing this weekend? I'm making clothes. What do you do after your girlfriend breaks up with you? I'm making clothes. What are you doing over Thanksgiving? I'm hiding my sewing machine in the back of my parents' SUV so that I can make clothes while I'm there. You need to take the Apple approach to design. Your first idea is never your best idea. You finish a pair of pants, make another pair of pants. Make a slightly different pair of pants. See if you can work with the tension differently in the inseam. Make another pair of pants. Try a different shape of pocket. Make another pair of pants. See if you can figure out how to actually make the stack look really good when it's on a pair of boots. Make another pair of pants. Make another pair of pants. Make 60 pairs of pants. The guy that started Rag & Bone very famously is kind of difficult to work with because he does not accept the first version of anything that they create. The first pair of jeans that he ever made, he made 60, literally 60 samples before he was happy enough to say, this can go into production, I think we're ready to do it. If you've never read it before, there's a very short book that is one of the best books that I've ever read. It's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Get the audiobook if you can. The whole thing it's incredibly short. It's like 3.5 hours for the entire book. He will kick your ass and it will be the best ass kicking that
Yes,
you've ever
sir.
had. His argument is basically that the audiobook, if you can, the whole thing it's incredibly short. It's like 3.5 hours for the entire book. He will kick your ass and it will be the best ass kicking that you have ever had. His argument is basically that the source of most unhappiness for most people is because they are not fulfilling their true calling. If you were meant to be a fashion designer, really, okay, I understand that a lot of people just clicked this video and that you're kind of watching in the background here. But if there's one point where you actually watch the actual video itself, let it be this point right now. If you know in your body that you were meant to be a fashion designer, do not take that away from the rest of us. We need your work very badly. The world needs what you have to offer it. Do not sell us short and don't sell yourself short by occasionally working on it and letting 2 weeks pass since the last time that you got on your sewing machine. Make more work. Pour your whole being into making clothes. Commit yourself to doing the art that you were meant to do. I was at a literary conference listening to this novelist talk, and someone raised their hand and asked him the question, how many books did you write before you got your first one published? And he said 14. He wrote and edited and completed 14 novels before one was good enough to get published. If you finished your first dress today that you've ever made, that is awesome. Good work. Don't stop. As soon as you put the last detail on that dress, immediately start making a pattern for the next dress. Let there be no time of celebration, no kind of pause, because that is where you're going to get bogged down. You won't be able to sell your first dress. You are not going to be able to sell your 15th pair of pants. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to sell your 50th jacket. Buy a bunch of muslin. Don't waste good fabric on experiments and learning. As often as you can, take the stuff apart, reuse the material. Try not to be wasteful, but you need to be experimenting and churning out things as much as possible. And after your 500th creation, you'll be able to look back over the course of everything that you made, and you'll be able to see a pattern in the 45th thing that you made, and the 81st thing that you made, and the 215th thing, and say, I actually see something here that I'm not sure I've seen anywhere else. I wonder if I can make more things like these 3 garments. And that's where every artist's unique vision comes from. Don't be precious about your work. They're not your babies. As soon as you finish one, start the next one. We have one more point to get to that to me probably is the most common hang up for a lot of young designers that I talk to. But before we move all the way into that, if this is something that's useful to you, if this is something that you derive value from, this channel, this video, support it on Patreon. YouTube is my one source of income. This is what I do for a living. And if this is something where you feel that you have pulled some value out of it, the Patreon starts at $3 a month. If you've never used it before, I would be honored to be the first person that you've ever supported on Patreon. Link is down in the description. Let's move on. Don't allow yourself to get hung up and waste time on details that do not matter. And most of those details, this is gonna be so weird coming from me, most of those details revolve around branding. I love branding. I think it's a modern art form. I think there are brands that do that so exceptionally well, and that's kind of the thing that gives a lot of fashion brands the oomph that makes them worldwide established sensations. It is important that you do this in the correct order. If you're in the place on your career path where you're saying, damn, I really do need to focus more on pattern cutting, or I really should learn how to just make a normal jacket. That is not the time for you to be obsessing over what your brand name is. That is not the time for you to be really fixated on what the logo is. The logo and the name of the brand can literally be the last thing that you do. Your Instagram presence, that will come when it's time. The nuances of the tag that you're gonna put in the stuff, that doesn't need to come before you figure out how to cut your own patterns. Please do not soak up time doing things that feel like work but are not work. The people who are capable of producing absolutely incredible stuff are usually very smart people. And to be frank, very smart people often get bogged down with too many good ideas. You need to be able to say, that is a cool idea for a logo. I might sketch that out and take 30 seconds on it. I'm not going to focus on that right now. That idea was good. Good job, me. I need to work on clothes. And to be totally frank, y'all, like, I know designers who have good businesses. They have very solid businesses. They are not worried about how they're paying bills for the next year. They're doing great. And their logo is bad. The tag on the inside of the clothes, it doesn't look that great. But you know what? The clothes are dynamite. And because they're well made, they have a really big, very committed client base. Exactly. And that's because every time they had an incredible idea for a good Instagram post, they said, I can't do that right now, I'm sewing. Focus on what is important. I hope this was helpful, my friends. All I want for you is to be able to bypass things that I know tons of artists, and I myself as someone who does content creation, these roadblocks are very, very easy things to get caught up on. You need to get the basics down. You need to be a perfectionist about your own work. You need to get back to work. Don't focus on things that aren't important. Go get the audiobook for Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art. It's really incredible. I'm gonna say that I do not recommend the book. I recommend the audiobook specifically. It's read by Stephen, and it really, you need to hear the guy himself yelling at you, kind of. It's great. Be encouraged, my friends. I love you a lot. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
I have dealt with mental and
That's what's up, girl. Look at that, look at that, look at that right across there. Look at that right across there. Your head do not look like that, girl. All right, anyway, that just motivated me to look into some gaming tips. I don't care about growing it necessarily fast. So let's just put on the filter real quick. Learn to play on mouse. Alright. I just want a quick video. I don't want to bog y'all down with it. I can do this in my own time, so. Alright. Alright, well, we're not going to look at this. Alright, let's look at some good hacks. You know, we gotta always have life hacks. Hold on. Before we get to another person talking for 30 minutes.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is my first any of those little kind of shavings that were left from
Hold up, y'all. Because I got to make sure that I'm getting the right videos in here. I can't just watch anything no more.
Did you know that the average person spends nearly 13 years of their life at work? That's right, 13 years. It's a startling statistic, isn't it? It makes one ponder the magnitude of time we invest in our careers and emphasizes the significance of productivity. The more efficient we are, the more we can accomplish, and the more rewarding those 13 years can be. So how can we reclaim some of this time? Let's delve into the world of productivity hacks. Productivity guru Francesco Cirillo proposes the Pomodoro technique. What's that, you might ask? Picture a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. That's right, Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. But this isn't about cooking, it's about productivity. Here's how it works. You set the timer for 25 minutes and focus wholeheartedly on a single task. No distractions, no multitasking, just pure focused work. When the timer rings, you take a 5-minute break. This is one Pomodoro. After completing 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. Sounds simple, right? But the benefits are profound.
Wow.
The Pomodoro technique trains your brain to focus for short periods and helps you keep track of your time. It reduces the impact of interruptions, and most importantly, it prevents burnout. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, remember, take a break, refresh your mind, and return to work with renewed focus. That's the Pomodoro way. Former US President Dwight Eisenhower once said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." This piece of wisdom serves as the foundation for the former US President Dwight Eisenhower once said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." This piece of wisdom serves as the foundation for the Eisenhower Matrix, a powerful tool for task prioritization. The matrix is divided into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. By categorizing your tasks into these quadrants, you can gain a clear perspective on what truly requires your attention. Tasks in the urgent and important quadrant need immediate attention. These are your crises and deadlines. On the other hand, tasks that are important but not urgent should be scheduled for later. These might include long-term goals or personal development activities. Tasks that are urgent but not important can often be delegated. And finally, tasks that are neither urgent nor important. Consider eliminating them from your to-do list entirely. Prioritize your tasks effectively, and you'll find more time for what truly matters. Productivity expert David Allen suggests a simple rule: if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now.
Yes, sir.
Imagine how many tasks you could tick off your to-do list if you adopted this principle. The 2-minute rule is a game changer in the realm of productivity, transforming the way we approach our tasks and decision-making. It's not about rushing through tasks, but rather about quick wins. The tasks that can be done in 2 minutes or less are often the easiest to postpone, yet they're also the ones that can quickly pile up, creating unnecessary stress and clutter. By applying the 2-minute rule, you're not just checking off tasks. You're cultivating a mindset of action and momentum. It's about seizing the moment to take immediate action on tasks before they snowball into larger, more daunting challenges. So the next time you're faced with a task that can be done swiftly, remember David Allen's advice. Conquer procrastination with the 2-minute rule and watch your productivity soar. Cal Newport, a renowned author, recommends time blocking as a game changer for productivity. So, what is time blocking? Imagine your day as a blank canvas and each task you need to accomplish is a colored block. Time blocking is the art of painting your day with these blocks, dedicating specific time slots for each task. It's like making an appointment with yourself to focus on a particular task, without any interruptions. This technique encourages you to single task rather than multitask. When you time block, you're committing to focusing on one thing at a time, which can significantly increase your productivity and the quality of your work. Time blocking also helps reduce stress. Instead of constantly worrying about your to-do list, you know exactly when you'll tackle each task. It's a strategy that gives you control over your day, rather than letting your day control you. Block your time, own your day, and see your productivity levels rise. Ever heard of the Pareto principle? It's a productivity goldmine. The Pareto principle, or the 80-20th rule as it's more commonly known, is a fascinating concept that can significantly enhance your productivity. This rule suggests that a mere 20% of our actions result in roughly 80% of the outcomes. Think about it. In your daily life, you may find that a small proportion of your tasks are actually responsible for the majority of your results. Perhaps it's that key project at work or a critical habit that shapes your health. So how can we leverage this? The trick is to identify and focus on those vital few tasks that deliver the most impact. Prioritizing these tasks can lead to a significant boost in your productivity. In essence, don't spread yourself too thin. Instead, invest your energy and time in those high-value tasks that yield the most significant results. Focus on the 20% that gives you 80% of the results. That's the 80-20th rule for you. Productivity isn't just about doing more, it's about focusing on the right things. How often do we find ourselves swamped with tasks that are not only irrelevant to our goals, but also drain our energy and time? This is where the power of no comes into play. Saying no is not about being uncooperative or difficult. It's about prioritizing your energy and focus. Consider this: every yes you give is a no to something else. When you say yes to a distraction, you're saying no to productivity. When you say yes to an irrelevant task, you're saying no to an opportunity that could propel you towards your goals. The power of no is about setting boundaries, about understanding your limits, and about valuing your time. It's about taking control of your productivity and steering it in the direction you want. So remember, next time you're faced with a choice, weigh up the impact on your productivity. Learn to say no and gain control over your productivity. James Clear, an expert on habit formation, believes that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Isn't that fascinating? Picture this. Just as a penny doubled every day for a month can grow to over £5 million, a small productivity habit, practiced consistently, can lead to massive improvements over time. Consider the simple act of writing a to-do list every morning. This habit alone can enhance your focus, reduce stress, and make you more efficient. Or think about the habit of reading for just 30 minutes each day. Over a year, that's nearly 200 hours of learning. Remember, habits are not built overnight. They require patience, consistency, and a dash of discipline. But once they are ingrained, they become automatic and yield tremendous results. So think about the habits you want to cultivate. Start small, be consistent, and watch your productivity skyrocket. Build productive habits and you'll build a productive life. Mindfulness isn't just for meditation. It's a powerful productivity tool. When we talk about mindfulness, we're talking about harnessing the power of being present, fully engaged in what you're doing. It's about silencing the noise of distractions and truly focusing on the task at hand. Imagine a workday where you're not juggling a million things at once, but rather immersing yourself in each task, one at a time. This is the essence of mindfulness. It allows us to maximize our productivity by eliminating multitasking, which can often lead to mistakes and half-completed tasks. Furthermore, mindfulness can help reduce stress and increase satisfaction in our work. When we are present and engaged, we are more likely to produce higher quality work and find joy in what we do. So, consider incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine. Start with just 5 minutes a day and watch as your productivity and satisfaction grow. Be mindful, be present, be productive. Now that you've got these productivity hacks up your sleeve, it's your turn to put them into action. Imagine just by tweaking your usual routine slightly, you could find yourself with more time for your passions, your loved ones, or even just a little extra sleep. Let's start with the Pomodoro technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes and focus on one task. After the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. Every fourth break should be longer, around 15 to 20 minutes. Then there's the Eisenhower matrix. This method will help you prioritize your tasks based on their urgency and importance. You'll soon find yourself spending less time on unimportant tasks. Next up is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. It's surprising how much you can accomplish in such a short span of time. Time blocking is another effective strategy. Dedicate specific time slots for different tasks or activities throughout your day. This eliminates multitasking and increases focus. The 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle, suggests that 80% of your output comes from 20% of your effort. Identify and focus on those high-yield activities. And don't forget the power of no. It's okay to decline tasks that don't align with your goals or priorities.
Yes, sir.
Lastly, harness the power of habits and practice mindfulness to boost your productivity. Try these hacks, share your experiences in the comments, and let's embark on this productivity journey together.
Got it. Well, I hope y'all got y'all productivity up after that one.
Introduction. Consistency means doing.
Hope y'all productivity is through the roof now. We done been motivated. We seen some hacks, some tips for designers, fashion designers, and now we also have some productivity hacks under our belt. So you know, Tech Tuesday though is not strictly just showing cool gadgets. When we look at these, let me switch my camera real quick. When we look at what we call these life hacks or tech hacks or anything that you're using to save yourself time or be productive, so to speak, you are using a technology. It's a way of getting something done that is technical. It's not just a natural or instinctual thing. It's actually technical. Like you go through steps and procedures to get it done. So when you think of technology, like we've defined before in the past, when you think of technology, it's not just simply a keyboard or a mouse. It is the way that you do things in an essence. So back to what we was talking about. Let's just get some more gadgets. Oh.
Did you know humans spend 6 months of their lives looking for lost stuff? 6 months. Imagine wasting half a year searching for keys, socks, and probably your dignity.
Jeez.
Yes, Anna, because losing socks is exactly the same as losing one's dignity. I'm sure your hacks today will greatly improve efficiency.
Oh, you bet, Doc. My first genius tip: need more sunlight? Move your phone charger to the beach for maximum solar power. It's like having your very own power plant, but cooler.
Yes, because there's nothing more practical than bringing a non-waterproof device to a place filled with sand and water. Maybe try a solar charger next time.
Details, details. Moving on. Forget your wallet at home. Don't panic, just offer to pay in compliments. Tell the waiter they have nice shoes, and your meal's covered.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, because restaurants love when you pay in compliments. If only there were a system, like a credit card, designed for paying without cash.
Right.
Where's the fun in that? Now for my personal favorite: too many clothes to wash. Easy. Just shower with your clothes on.
Lady.
That way, you clean yourself and your laundry in one go.
Nothing says efficiency like turning your bathroom into a laundromat. I'm sure your drains and washing machine will love the break.
Exactly. Time saver and eco-friendly. Next. Forgot your password again? Don't stress, just guess. Start with password 123 or your birthday. Can't go wrong.
Yes, because what could be safer than making your password something a child could guess? Maybe consider a password manager instead of inviting hackers into your life.
Who needs security when you've got creativity? Final tip. Need a natural alarm clock. Just move your bed outside. The sun and the birds will wake you up on time, guaranteed.
Ah yes, because nothing says perfect start to the day like being woken up by pigeons and your neighbor mowing the lawn at 6 a.m.
Exactly, it's foolproof. And there you have it, life hacks that will totally change your life.
I like that lady. She got life all messed up. Let's watch some shows.
Why are there not more people talking about this simple productivity booster? It's a game changer. Feeling swamped by endless tasks? Here's a simple life hack that'll turn your chaotic day around. Just break your tasks into 25-minute focused blocks. After each, treat yourself to a 5-minute break. Sounds simple.
What's your body count? Whatever you think it is.
3.
Only 3?
That's all.
Only 3?
Only 3.
Okay, what are you thinking it is? What do you think I'm asking?
How many people I killed?
I took it to school to show my teachers the talent that I had. I want to show them. And in my perspective, it didn't look like a...
Miles, can you tell me what motivates you or who motivates you? Your mom, nigga. Shout out to Kudos.
I see.
Thanks for the bits. Those. Your mom, nigga. You or Miles, can you tell me what motivates you or who motivates you? Your mom, nigga. Shout out to Kudos. Thanks for the bits. Those.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
Are we white or black?
We're whack.
Master Candy, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, what do you want me to do today?
Need some work done in field number 3, I think.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Candy, is that you?
We're whack.
Are we white or black?
I'm sorry,
Are we white or black?
We're whack.
Master Candy, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, what do you want me to do today?
Need some work done in field number 3, I think.
Oh, okay. I'll get on it, sir.
Please do.
Thank you. Mr. Candy's being a little too nice today.
What's your body count? Whatever you think it is.
I bet you.
All right,
What's
last
your-
one.
I bet you won't jamming. I bet you won't jamming.
I done buck 5 up. This going on Instagram.
This going on Instagram. This going on the ground. This going on the ground. I bet you won't jamming.
I done buck 5 up. This going on Instagram.
This going on Instagram. This going on the ground. This going on the ground. I bet you won't jamming.
All right. Tech hacks you never knew.
Apple does not want you to know this hidden setting. Follow for more. Apple does not want you to know this hidden.
How stupid. All right, let's go.
I took 2 things that I love, dancing and dogs, and I made them into a successful business. Hi, I'm Ron.
Forgot to put your drink in the fridge? Wrap a wet paper towel around it and put it in the freezer. In just 15 minutes, your drink will be ice cold. You can paint the end of your keys with different colored nail polish so you can easily identify which key is which. To stop your wrapping paper from unrolling, you can cut open an old toilet paper roll and use it as a cup. In order to pour the perfect amount of oil or salad dressing, poke holes in the foil seal rather than removing it completely. This prevents a big amount rushing out quickly. To prevent Band-Aids from slipping off your finger, cut a line on either side. The Band-Aid, not the finger. This will create 4 smaller sticky strips rather than 1 large one, and it will be much easier to secure. When your candle is burned down and the wick is difficult to reach with a lighter, you can use a stick of spaghetti. Just light the end and you'll have a longer stick that burns just as well, so you can get to those hard to reach time you feel like a mid-air stroll. It's definitely better than grabbing onto everyone's headrest. Feel like to give them a better grip while walking. There are actually handles along the edges to give them a better grip while walking. Go ahead and use them the next time you feel like a mid-air stroll. It's definitely better than grabbing onto everyone's headrests. Don't you hate that? A shiny brass doorknob adds just the right amount of fancy to your front door. But that's not all it does. Brass, like anything with copper alloy in it, has antimicrobial properties that many harmful germs and bacteria just can't stand. In high traffic areas, these harmful germs and bacteria. Alloy in it has antimicrobial properties that many harmful germs and bacteria just can't stand. In high traffic areas, these brass knobs and handles are the perfect way to get rid of those nasty germs without having to use harsh chemicals all the time. The only downside is that brass is a lot more expensive than other metals. That might be why it's hardly used for this anymore. Does your toothbrush have a pattern of blue bristles weaved in with the white ones? It makes the toothbrush look a lot more stylish, but it's not just about looking good. Those bristles actually have a practical purpose. The blue dye is designed to wear off around the same time as when you should replace your toothbrush. You should be switching out your toothbrush every 3 to 4 months anyway, but those blue bristles are there to give you a gentle nudge just in case you forget. Now, you walk over them every day and never think about it twice, but is there a reason maintenance hole covers are always round? In past civilizations, like ancient Rome, these covers used to be square-shaped slabs of stone. But all those edges and gaps led to plenty of stubbed toes and accidents for unsuspecting Romans. A round cover eliminated the problem. Plus, it meant you could only open it with a specialized tool. Probably a good idea. The thermos was invented by a Scottish scientist, but not for keeping his coffee warm. He just wanted to keep some chemicals at a stable temperature. He placed a small bottle inside of a larger one and then sucked all the air out from between the two bottles. This same technique is used to make the modern thermos. Those paper toilet seat covers aren't meant to be used the way many do. Ripping off that flap that looks like a tongue is not the right way. Instead of tearing it off or sticking it at the back, let that flap sit in the bowl after putting down the cover. Flushing will allow the suction to pull down the flap and take it away. You no longer need to touch it after using it. Whew, that's a relief on so many levels. There isn't much privacy in a public toilet, especially when the door doesn't reach the floor. Those gaps work for ventilation and to stop people from lingering around for too long. It also allows emergency access in case the person inside needs immediate attention. Meanwhile, ceiling fans aren't just for hot days. There's a little switch on top that can change the direction of the fan. The summer setting runs counterclockwise to suck the cooler air up, while the winter setting moves clockwise, pushing the warmer air down.
Word up.
Full signal bars on your cell doesn't mean you've got the best signal at all. Every phone manufacturer uses their own algorithm that senses the strength level of the available signal. From that, they can show as many or as few bars as they choose.
What?
Full signal bars, pushing the warmer air down. Full signal bars on your cell doesn't mean you've got the best signal at all. Every phone manufacturer uses their own algorithm that senses the strength level of the available signal. From that, they can show as many or as few bars as they choose. There's quite a bit of difference between the bars from one phone to another. Me, I prefer chocolate bars. Pre-rinsing your dishes before putting them into the dishwasher might be all for nothing. Most modern dishwashers have sensors inside to sense how dirty your plates are. This allows them to wash the dishes with a controlled amount of water. Scrape any solid food away and stack properly, allowing the dishwasher to do the hard work. That little disc that's underneath bottle caps isn't just a leftover part of the production process. It creates an even tighter seal with the lid. So even if you turn the bottle upside down, the liquid doesn't leak out everywhere. That plastic disc keeps carbonated sodas carbonated for longer as well. So keep it if it's going back into the fridge.
Yeah, GoDaddy Arrow is so easy. AI built me a website in minutes.
Placing a wooden spoon across a pot of cooking pasta can prevent the water from boiling over. This will destabilize the bubbles when they contact the spoon, preventing a spillover onto the stovetop. Now you tell me. A progress bar at 50% doesn't mean half of the file has been downloaded. Almost all of the files could have been downloaded, or none. They're just there to ease your mind. Internet speeds and network availability, none. The file has been downloaded. A progress bar at 50% doesn't mean half of the file has been downloaded. Almost all of the files could have been downloaded, or none. They're just there to ease your mind. Internet speeds and network availability are the keys to how quickly a download will complete. The computer's hard drive decides how to process and put the files where they need to be, which will run slower if it's old or full. To make the perfect smoothie, put the liquids in first, then add any ingredients after you've put milk, coconut water, coffee, or yogurt. This will allow the perfect swirl to blend everything properly. That hole inside the pasta fork stirrer doesn't only drain water out, it's a great measuring tool for how much spaghetti to cook per person. The hole is the recommended amount for a single serving.
Y'all remember that next time.
Speaking of openings, metal zippers have a hidden lock built in. Wasn't that clever? Putting the zipper downwards creates a lock with the teeth of the zipper. If left in the upwards direction, it's free to move around. Pressing the crosswalk button won't always make the walk signal come up. These buttons can be divided into 3 categories. The first needs to be pressed. The second won't work. And the third requires a push of the button to activate that walk signal after a certain time in the day. It all depends on what city you're in, the time of day, and where you are in that city. I wish there was a 4th category that would squirt water at the person next to you when pressed. But hey, that's just me. Sticky notes are meant to be removed from the block at a side angle. Pulling from the bottom just makes the paper curl up and not as sticky over time. That drawer at the bottom of your oven isn't meant to be a storage locker for all the fry pans, pots, and baking trays. It's actually a warming drawer. This will keep hot foods at a nice temperature, ready for serving. Tinfoil and plastic wrap boxes have a special design on there to hold that roll in place. A cardboard tab on each end that works like a lock. Push those tabs in and the roll will stay inside the box. That little pocket on your jeans tabs in and the base. A plastic wrap box, hot foods at a nice temperature, ready for serving. Tinfoil and plastic wrap boxes have a special design on there to hold that roll in place. A cardboard tab on each end that works like a lock. Push those tabs in and the roll will stay inside the box.
Got it.
That little pocket on your jeans wasn't designed for loose change or keys. They're originally designed for the pocket watch in the 1890s. Around those pocket areas, there are rivets sticking out as well. They're there to help reinforce the sensitive areas of the jean that get the most wear and tear. Repeatedly pushing the close door button on a U.S. elevator isn't going to make it close any sooner. In 1990, the U.S. passed a Disabilities Act for elevators, which meant that elevators had to ensure that someone with a disability had time to get inside one. The only people who can bypass this are emergency workers in building maintenance. They'll have keys or even special codes that make that button operational. Erasers usually have 2 different colored sides, pink and blue. The pink is for the pencil, but so is the blue. The blue side is made for thicker pages, like what an artist would use. It's not made to remove penning, as many people believe. That's because people who write in pen don't make mistakes. Nah, I'm just kidding. The rearview mirror glass isn't truly flat as it looks. It's thicker on one side than the other. The toggle switches the mirror between the day and night mode. When a car is behind you at night, the toggle switches the mirror truly flat as it looks. It's thicker on one side than the other. The toggle switches the mirror between the day and night mode. When a car is behind you at night, there will be glare coming off their headlights that are potentially blinding to the driver. Pushing that little switch down or up changes the way light passes through it and reflected back. Pouring out juice or milk with a spout at the bottom leads to a glugging effect that splashes the liquid all around. To avoid this, flip the carton around with the spout on the top. This allows better airflow to happen, allowing a more even flow.
Yo, I've been flipping that the rear view mirror thing in my car to be able to look at the kids. Like, boop, flip it down, be like, all right, I see y'all, and then flip it back up. I ain't know it was for glare. Well, we seen him already. Let's see the chat GBT hacks real quick.
So you're already using chat GPT,
then we'll get some more
and while
motivation.
that's
Then
awesome,
we'll
there
get
is
up out of
one
here
little
for the day.
problem. You're not.
Everyone uses ChatGPT, but not to its full potential. Most people are only scratching the surface, and even power users won't know some of the tricks I'm about to share. Ever wish you had an incognito mode for ChatGPT? Turn on temporary chat. Go up to the model list, then click temporary chat. Now, anything you say won't show up in your history. OpenAI won't train their models with the information, and it won't be added to memories. Definitely use that if you're mentioning any proprietary or sensitive data, or I like to use it for just random one-off questions I know I'll never need again. That way I don't have as much nonsense filling up the history in the sidebar. So that way it's easier to go back to previous chats. Or there's an even easier way to find previous chats. Have you ever had the moment where you know you had a conversation but can't remember what it was titled or when it happened? To find it, you can use search in the top left, or what I prefer is type Command K on a Mac and Control K on Windows. Then you can type in whatever it was you were chatting about and it will show chat titles and snippets from all your previous chats about that topic. Then you can click in for the full chat. It's super convenient. I've been using ChatGPT regularly for a long time, so I use that a lot. If you want to save time and maneuver through ChatGPT like a pro, hit Command// to pull up the full list of shortcuts. I use a few of these consistently. Command-Shift-C to copy the last response if you need to save it to a notepad or are drafting an email or something. Command-Shift-O to open a new chat. And Command-Shift-S to toggle the sidebar is really nice to have a clean interface while you're chatting. Those make my workflow much smoother. There may be others you want to use in here too, like Command-Shift-I to access custom instructions so you can quickly turn them on or off or make changes to them. Another shortcut that's not listed in here is when you're in a chat, you can hit / and that will pull up a list of actions. You can move up and down with the arrow keys to select, generate an image, search the web, use the reasoning model. There's also the box down below, but I prefer the shortcut so my hand doesn't have to leave the keyboard. Let's use search really quick. The updated search feature is just so much better. I want to see some maps during the Roman Empire. Now it displays multiple images I can click through. Then there's clickable sources within the chat for further reading. And if you click sources at the bottom, it will pull them all up on the side. This is awesome. You can pull up anything, then continue chatting about it all in one interface. And now this is much more directly competing with Perplexity and Google. ChatGPT is pretty good at using search when needed, but not always. So just remember to ask it to search anytime you need updated information, or reprompt it if it comes back and seems like a search could have been beneficial. This list of AI robotics advancements doesn't seem fully up to date, so I'll ask it for more recent examples. And those look perfect. Now, ChatGPT might know you better than you think. If memory is enabled, ChatGPT remembers details about you. There's this fun prompt that was going around. From all of our interactions, what is one thing that you can tell me about myself that I may not know about myself? It usually gives a pretty fun response, and that showcases how much it can learn about you. But along the way, it picks up a bunch of random, often useless facts that clog up its memory. You can see and change what it remembers by going to your profile, then settings, then personalization. That's where memory is. You can turn it off completely or click manage to remove things you don't want. So just any useless or outdated information you can remove. Will help finding a book for my 4-year-old. Don't really need that. A specific B-roll clip I needed help finding. Definitely don't need that. There will usually be a lot you can clear out here. Mine tends to be things from previous videos I was working on, or sometimes I ask things just for testing purposes or for someone else. It's definitely helpful to get rid of that stuff and only keep what's relevant. Also, if you do want it to remember something, during your chats you can say remember this at any point and it will add that. Like I had a daughter on Halloween that will probably be relevant to some future chats. I'm covering a lot of hacks and lesser known features, but another incredibly time-saving technique is using prompt templates. Thanks to HubSpot, there's a list of 1,000 prompts for marketing and productivity you can download for free from the link in the description. So this list is super helpful, and those 1,000 prompts are searched and that spot right above memory is custom instructions, which are a little different. I think of memory like having a personal assistant who remembers your preferences and history over time. Then custom instructions are like giving specific directions for how you want that assistant to act in the moment and across all chats. I keep mine pretty basic. Just a few things about me up top. Then the section about how you'd like ChatGPT to respond, I start with asking it not to give as many disclaimers and just assume I'm aware of general precautions. That way it's not as naggy. Also, I ask it to be concise unless asked otherwise, not to apologize, and to prioritize correctness. I don't go beyond that because that's all I want applied universally to every chat. But if there's ever any little annoyances you find keep popping up, see if you can get rid of them here. Another housekeeping tip, back in these 3 dots, you can also archive. And that's different from deleting. That will remove it from your history to clean it up a bit, but it will still pull up if you search for it. You can find all your archived chats again by clicking your profile, settings, then under general is archived chats. Manage will open them all up. You could also archive all chats if you want, or delete all chats.
Picture this. It's Sunday night. You're dreading Monday morning. Your overflowing inbox, growing to-do list.
And the last one in here under data controls, there's improve the model for everyone. This defaults to on and allows OpenAI to use your content to train the model. That helps make the model better, but you may not want that. You can switch that off here. Definitely do that if you're using any proprietary or confidential information. And here's one I think most people won't know. I'll generate an image. This is another prompt using the memory feature that Linus Ekenstam posted, and I thought it was fun. Based on what you know about me, draw a picture of what you think my best possible life looks like. There it is. That is pretty accurate. And the part I wanted to show is you can have ChatGPT upscale and enhance images. I'll use this prompt, upscale this image, keep everything the same, but sharpen and enhance the details. Actually, that's the prompt I've used a few times before, but it didn't work this time. It just generated a new image, but this time it looks like maybe my wife is doing my work for me while I ride a bike. Even better. So I'll use that one and fix the prompt. Keep everything the same, but sharpen and enhance the details using the Python Pillow library. That's what's actually happening. It's not a native feature. And now it comes back with a file to download. Now here's the before and after. There's a big difference. Honestly, DALL-E is way behind on image generation. It has decent prompt adherence, but the aesthetics are rarely a style I would use for anything, so I hardly ever do. However, you can upscale and sharpen any image in here. So I'll pull in an image I took, then I'll use that same prompt. And this was a herd of muskox we came across in northern Alaska up near the Arctic Ocean. This image isn't super sharp. I was probably shivering when I took it. But now it's got some detail added. Or here's another example. This one's from Midjourney. It helps a lot with that one. And since it's using that Python library, you could also change the colors or adjust the contrast, all sorts of changes like that the same way. And also with images, you can inpaint to remove things or add a prompt to change them. As you can see, that doesn't work great, but it can be helpful for small changes. And most image generating or editing can be done much better elsewhere, like Midjourney, Leonardo, Ideogram, Adobe, Flux. OpenAI is pretty far behind in that regard, but I wanted to show it since it's in here. I do use it every once in a while. If you haven't tried the new voice mode yet, try it. It is amazing. I don't typically like using voice for things like Siri voice memos or anything like that, but ChatGPT's voice can be super convenient. What are some of the main benefits of using voice mode with you?
Voice mode offers hands-free interaction, which is great for multitasking, like when you're hiking or driving. It also makes conversations more natural and allows for real-time feedback, which can be especially useful.
Yeah, the hands-free part is really nice. I actually had you help me make a new schedule for myself while I was on a hike the other day. What are some other use cases like that?
That's great to hear. You can use voice mode for taking notes on the go, getting quick answers to questions, practicing language skills, or even brainstorming ideas hands-free. It's also helpful for hands-free control of devices, like setting reminders or sending messages.
Yeah, going hands-free and just brainstorming while I'm driving is awesome. That's another good one. Another that I like is to have you listen to me present information about something that I learned, and then you can critique me on it. It's a great way to reinforce the learning and also get better at teaching.
Absolutely. Presenting what you've learned and getting immediate feedback can really solidify your understanding and refine your teaching skills.
We could cover a lot more, but just keep voice in mind and you'll come up with something that's relevant to you. All right, most people know you can also upload images, which is incredibly useful and I use all the time for like identifying things, problem solving. I assume most people in school are answering all their homework this way, so I won't spend too much time on that, but I will link to a paper below that OpenAI released. I've covered it before, but it has all sorts of vision use cases, like identifying landmarks from obscure angles, recognizing food dishes and giving a recipe for them, understanding medical imaging, understanding jokes and memes, figuring out complex diagrams, recognizing emotions, or this one where it knew these were South Park characters. Very impressive. In addition to images, ChatGPT can also take in PDFs to analyze, summarize, and extract key points. What are the key revenue trends in this report? There's standalone paid tools that charge for this, but you can do it right within ChatGPT. You can also upload files for debugging, reviewing, or enhancing code. Another really useful one is uploading spreadsheets or text files for data analysis. It can perform calculations, visualize data, or find trends. It does this incredibly well. Here was a data set I got from Kaggle that had different types of info about 721 Pokemon. Although everyone knows the original 150 are the only ones that matter. Well, 151. Analyze this. Do you notice anything interesting? All right, it has some great observations, but where it gets really useful is visualizations. Visualize this data in different formats. Now it comes back with a bar chart, a pie chart, a stacked bar chart, and a scatter plot. And there's a lot more it can do than that. Also, a beta feature is you can switch these to interactive. There's endless use cases for the data analysis features. It is amazing. Those are some of the input formats it accepts, but you can also change the output format. There's basics like tables, bullet points, or checklists, or you can ask for different file types. Like it can export as a Word document instead of copying and pasting. Or if you had it generate a table, you can actually export that as a spreadsheet. Have you ever had to jump between tools or apps when writing a script or debugging code and just wished you could do the whole thing right in ChatGPT? Well, that's what Canvas offers. So I'll select that and it will open up into the canvas. This lets you create and edit in a separate dedicated environment. You can request edits, rewrites, or refinements directly in the canvas without disrupting your ongoing chat. So I'll add the script I'm working on, then say, check the script for accuracy. Now it goes through and adds comments right within the canvas, has some clarifications and improvements. How about, what are some analogies I can add? It gives me a big list and I can just ask it to add one and it will work it into the script. And another tip is it doesn't use search by default in Canvas, but you can still use /search when needed. Also, you may find yourself going back and forth with ChatGPT normally and want to switch to Canvas. All you have to do is ask and it will jump right over to the canvas. And when you ask for code, it will usually open that up right into Canvas, so it's easier to debug and review. Now, have you ever wished you could keep consistent context across multiple chats? Projects makes that possible, and it's one of my favorite new features. So projects allow you to keep chats organized and contextually connected. One that I use a lot is for shorts. So I have a big list of types of hooks and example hooks that I uploaded to the project files. Then I have step-by-step instructions as well. Now that I have that all in there, to start, all I have to do is input my topic and it will give me a list of hooks in each style. Now I can refine and pick one from there, then it will move on to the next step in the workflow. It's this whole collaborative process that speeds up short form creation a lot. I can script and film them really fast this way. I have like 30 plus shorts I've recorded, but never had the time to edit. The ones I do post have done pretty well though. I used to use custom GPTs for this type of thing, but projects are much better for most of what I personally need to use, largely because of the saved history. Custom GPTs are still good for very specific fixed behaviors, and they also have the benefit of exploring GPTs that others have made public. I'd say that's my main hack for custom GPTs. You don't have to build everything from scratch. If you have something you're thinking of creating, see if someone else already has. There's tons and tons of options in here. It's like an app store with each app tailored to specific tasks or behaviors. Right. Like this one for research, I'll use one of the default questions and it will come back with a long answer backed by academic papers that are all sourced and you can chat with. You can easily reference these GPTs by adding it to the sidebar, so it's always there when you need it. And here's another one for prompting AI video tools. I just enter a simple prompt and it will elaborate into a much longer prompt that works better for AI video tools. And it gives multiple options. That's really nice to have. I use another for LLMs, basically training ChatGPT to prompt itself, and another for image generators. And an often overlooked tip is you can summon your GPTs in any chat. Just click the @ sign and choose your GPT from the list, then ask for what you need and it will use all the context and instructions you've built into that GPT to tailor a response. This one is a coloring book page generator I made for my 4-year-old. I'll just type a dinosaur driving a car and send that, and even though this is in an existing chat without any additional context, the GPT knows what to do and generates a coloring book page. I'm going to give just a quick mention of O1 Pro, partially because it's so expensive, not many people are using it. Also, I don't feel like I'm remotely an expert with it, so I don't want to give bad advice. But it is amazing if you're prompting it well. It's like a turbocharged version of ChatGPT for advanced reasoning tasks. This graph shows how big of an improvement it is, and it shows where we're headed with the unreleased O3. Here's an example prompt to showcase this. You've consumed more information than anyone in the history of the world, and you've demonstrated an extraordinary ability to make connections among them. What are the most important non-consensus, not yet accepted, heretical, or even not yet hypothesized things that you've picked up in the in-betweens and connections or believed to be true based on everything you've learned? This came from X. I don't quite remember who posted it, but it's an awesome prompt. You can open the details and see what it's thinking about and all the steps it goes through in real time. You can see it thought for 1 minute and 19 seconds, and then it came back with this. And there is some incredible thoughts in here. Alternative theories that don't rely on dark matter and dark energy. How reciprocal altruism might dominate at large scales over competition and dark energy.
Some underexplored leads tie galaxy rotation curves, cosmic expansion, and modified gravitational laws together without requiring additional dark components. Right. There are scattered studies and fringe hypotheses suggesting gravity might behave differently at cosmic scales, right, due to geometry holography or hidden symmetries rather than invoke invisible matter or energy, right?
How reciprocal altruism,
See another one they said.
alternative
Memory
theory
as a universal organization principle. Beyond
that
biology,
don't
there are
rely
hints
on dark
that
matter and
memory
dark
storage.
energy. How
Dang, I couldn't
reciprocal
see all of it.
altruism in here. Alternative theories that
like
don't
that.
rely on dark matter and dark energy. How reciprocal altruism might dominate at large scales over competition. The planet as its own coherent organism. Asking O1 Pro to go deep on one of these is where it gets a lot more impressive. This one about the alternatives to dark matter, it's a really technical deep dive. The amount of advancements and breakthroughs that are going to happen with what these models are becoming capable of is going to make the world a very different and hopefully better place. Those hacks should help you along your way to ChatGPT mastery. One thing I didn't cover is Sora, which comes along with a ChatGPT subscription. If you want to deep dive into that with a full guide covering every aspect, you can right here. And if you want to deep mastery, one thing I didn't cover is Sora, which comes along with a ChatGPT subscription. If you want to deep dive into that with a full guide covering every aspect, you can right here. And make sure to check out futurepedia.io to find the best AI tool for every use case. Browse a curated list of AI tutorials, stay up to date with the latest AI innovations, and sign up for the free newsletter. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
That actually was pretty good. I'm going to add that to my list too. All right. So we're going to close up shop here today. Get up out of here. Get off y'all nerves. But I'm going to leave you with this. So tech, remember, is not just controller in your hand, a PlayStation, or a mouse and keyboard. Tech is the way that you're doing what you're doing. So just take that into consideration as you're going forward and browse your tech. Browse your technology. Make sure you're using your technology to the best of your capability. And I'm going to get out of here for the day. Let me leave y'all with some motivation, though. Motivation for the week. Let's make money. Let's get that money. All right. They always do me like that. They ain't got nothing good.
Attitude as much as possible goes hand in hand with having a growth mindset and not letting fear rule your decisions. And fear exists, and fear will always creep into our minds.
I want to listen to you, bruh. And I will later.
I would much rather always.
All right. All right, let's go.
Instead of jumping out of bed and rushing right into the stress of what you need to do, breathe. Take a moment to eliminate the stress and realign your mind, body, and brain with the joy that does live inside you. You get to choose if your day is going to be like every other day or if it's going to be a great day. And you decide first thing in the morning by giving yourself that time to realign your brain to positivity, to redirect your mind to what is good in your life. What is good in your life right now? Take a moment to think about it.
Start your day with intention. Today, I will be present. Today, I will be kind. Today, I will be the example I expect of others.
Wednesdays tomorrow.
Today, I will give my all in every moment.
It's all about intention. When you direct your focus to the good, you will see more good. If your focus is directed to the stress and struggle, you will see more stress and struggle.
If you want to be really happy, give thanks. That's the secret. Happy people are grateful people. So spend time in gratitude. Spend time in intention and expectation for what a great day today is going to be. Feed your mind with something positive. Read or listen to something uplifting. Something that will grow your mind or spirit.
You attract your intentions. You attract your beliefs. You attract what you feel. So get up and feel good. When you direct your focus to the good, you will see more good. If your focus is directed to the stress and struggle, you will see more stress and struggle. That is your only job. Get up and get yourself feeling amazing. Ask yourself, how can I feel great today? How can I grow today? How can I make others feel great today? Open your eyes to the magic around you. I guarantee you, you have been missing out on miracles because you have been lost in the stress and noise inside your head. Get out of your head and get into the magic of life.
Today is a new day, a fresh, clean canvas. You can paint whatever you want on that canvas, no matter what happens. You are the artist. Add some color, some joy, some life to your canvas. Leave nothing off that canvas.
As soon as you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what's really important today? Is it important that I rush around stressed at everything I have to get done? Or can I just enjoy this moment? Can I set the tone for the rest of my day? You decide what kind of day you will have, not what happens, but how you will respond to everything that happens. You can respond positively to any situation. Will you respond with presence? Will you see the good? Will you find a way around the obstacles? Will you write your own story, or will life write it for you?
Welcome to the Waverhood.
The Wayfair vibe at our place is Western.
My thing, darling, shine.
Gardening.
Some of us go for the dramatic.
How didn't I know Wayfair had vanities and tile?
This? Yeah. Do you have any ottomans without legs? Sean, you'll flip for the poop card. In the Waverhood, there's a place for all of us.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me, you're a fan of yourself. You will believe in yourself. I'm just the espresso. I'm just a shot in the morning to get you going, to make you believe that you can overcome that situation that you're dealing with all the time. They have you in a box. You can save the world, but you are working on things that are too small. Take a step back. Stop worrying about your college, your loans. Stop worrying about what job that they got waiting for you in Silicon Valley. MIT, you can save the world. Kids in college, you can save the world. I'll put my life on this interview right now. It's up to y'all. Y'all have the ability to just step back from what you think culture is today. It's not about any candidate. It's not about red or blue. It's about humanity. Y'all talking about is 12 years of oxygen left. Talking about we gonna kill the earth. We can't kill the earth. We gonna kill the things that keep us alive on the earth, and the earth gonna survive. It's up to y'all. Y'all the future. But what y'all working on right now? We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media. And today it all changes. We need to think how to think free. We need to be free thinkers. Then we need to learn how to feel free. People say feel free, but we don't even know how to feel free or think free. Say what you feel, positive or negative, grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice. Just like when I said slavery is a choice. The reality, we can make our own reality. We can talk about history, but not too long. We need to talk about our now, because we can fix and start loving each other now. But the thing is, we have the resources on this planet to have a human utopia, to have respect for each other, mankind. We have that. But we're too concerned about getting the next Hollywood film to Netflix. We have the resources. There's new billionaires every day. You apply the right type of thinkers, like the Elon Musk, the people with the real ideas. Like, politics is dead. It's over with. Politics, like, these kids need some type of real truth. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna influence, and I'm just gonna be me to the fullest. Because it's also with my approach, you know, it's a certain point of a level of like frustration, because waiting for everyone to agree may take too long. I'm not gonna sit inside of a corporation for 20 years. The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you. Your entire life is a test. And when did you have the most anxiety in grammar school and high school? No question. On test day. So your entire life become this test. I ain't trying to say the right answer. I am just doing what I feel. My mama said trying is failing. There is no ifs, woulds, coulds, shoulds. It just is, and we just are. And it is so. It's simple. And this mentality should not be defeated. Yea, cannot die. Yea, cannot be buried. There is nothing. As a matter of fact, no enemy. The enemy is a concept that's out. Before I found Christ and gave my life to God, I would try to lean on my own understanding. And that's the universe is like a black hole of information.
What do you mean by your own understanding?
Meaning, when people ask Einstein, said, you're the smartest person, what would you like to know? Einstein's response was, I'd like to understand the mind of God. Meaning God is all-knowing, and we can only know or see, and for me as a visionary, we can only know or see what God allows us to see and what he feels we're ready to see and understand, to maximize what our Maslow's hierarchy of need chart is. You know, what sets our dopamines, what sets our serotonins off, what makes us feel good. Basically, like, you know, we did a good deed, and it's like it was somehow, you know, just doing a beat for a local dope rapper really meant a lot to me when I was 14 years old. Doing a beat for just anyone famous that had a major record deal was a lot to me at age 19. Me being able to, you know, put out my own music, and that was a lot to me at age 24. Meaning, as I grow, God sets new stages in the game of life for me, that you get your satisfaction. Like Maslow's hierarchy of need is like our satisfaction chart. What makes us feel whole and accomplished as a human being? So as I go through these different levels, there's times where I would use confidence when I knew what I was doing, and I would use arrogance when I didn't know what I was doing. But I'd rather use arrogance than to let someone diminish my idea of myself, because that is what keeps us going. Hope actually keeps us alive. Anybody you ask, most people, it's like, do you want tomorrow to come? And they say yes, they have hope for it. But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith. And faith is the opposite of fear. And that created this fearless approach that I have. And that's what now has made me the fearless leader that I am, that I've like crystallized into the leader that my mom always knew I would be when kids followed me in preschool, the leader that people saw when we changed the sound of music. You know, I like when Jay-Z said, show you how to move in a room full of vultures. Isn't that like, you don't really have to change who you are and start saying, I'm gonna be a snake, I'm gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? Just know you can't let people use you or misuse you. Life is about using people though. Just don't misuse them. I mean, just in life, if you like the type of music and you listen to it all the time, you know, why not follow your heart? Why not follow what makes you happy? I remember when the song the movie American Werewolf in Paris came out, and it had the theme song, I think it was by Blur. Nothing hurts like your mouth. And like me and my friends used to love that song so much. And it was like we weren't supposed to like the song or something because of where we were from. Or we like songs like So Kiss Me Under the Moonlit Starlight. Like all these songs are just these incredible melodies from the 80s and from the 90s. A lot of the 90s stuff. And people keep on saying 80s, but they were like, Mr. Jones and me. All these sweeping melodies and Nirvana and shit like that. Like, and I'm like, I really love music and I love to sing these songs and I can make music. So why not just make music? The greatest thing that a man has to give to anyone, whether it's their kids or whether it's their wife, is time. And how much time do we spend, you know, chasing the American dream or chasing money and materialistic things? And how much time do we actually give to the women and children? And that's what this album, more so than, you know, what type of music, you know, the way I chose to express it, that message is what people need to leave with the most, I think. There's a balance of family and calling that I specifically have. I have to protect and take care of my family